Welcome back to another episode of the free VST Plugin Detective, where I review, test out, and demonstrate various free VSTs. This is the MT Power DrumKit 2. My rating right off the bat, 5 out of 5, perfect rating. There's really only one thing I will say that I don't like about this plugin. It's a small thing, and you'll see what I mean. So this is basically my song, Mr. Zimmer. A lot of times on this series, I like to show you not only the plugin itself, but show you how it sounds in the mix, right? In the actual, or being used in an actual song. So Mr. Zimmer was a track off my hip-hop album. I was like a mini side project. Normally I produce EDM. Mini side project, kind of producing hip-hop, lo-fi instrumental beats. So this is like a cinematic hip-hop track, and the MT Power DrumKit 2 was perfect for it. So I'm going to play you a little bit. So I do have a link listed below, obviously to the plugin and to this track as well. But jumping into it now, you can hear it in the mix. This plugin is unbelievable for a bunch of different reasons I'm going to get into. So first off, I'm going to solo it. I feel like a lot of times, especially on this series, people are like, okay, Mark, how does it sound? That's all I care about. Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? So soloing this mini groove that I made in MIDI, because keep in mind it is a VST, I'm going to show you how it sounds like this. So, right off the bat, you can tell the sound quality of the samples in this plugin is amazing. The second thing that I really like about this plugin, this could be both good and bad, but you can adjust it, is a plugin is already pre-mixed. Meaning that all the levels, and obviously on these videos, on these VST reviews, I don't like to give technique advice. This is more reviewing the plugin, not necessarily going into music production technicalities. However, I will say this, that mixing is kind of making sure that all the levels are correct and everything meshes well together. Look at every element in your track as a puzzle piece, and you don't want the certain edges of the puzzle pieces meshing in a negative way with the other edges of the puzzle pieces, right? Like if you're putting two puzzle pieces together like this, I guess using my fingers, you want to make sure that this puzzle piece has all the elements removed that can fit in this puzzle piece so that all the other elements of the other puzzle piece can mesh well together, if that makes sense. And when you do mixing, you want to make sure that everything is very cohesive and there's really no phase cancellation. I mean, I'm giving a very service level explanation of this. And the cool thing about the MT Power DrumKit 2 is that everything's already pre-mixed. As you can see here, some things are already pre-compressed. These are not my own settings. These settings are already implemented from the start. This is basically the standard settings or the default settings. And as you can see here, a lot of these levels are already adjusted. There's even pan already thrown on, as you can see, to make it a bit wider, to add more stereo width to your mix. So it's already pre-mixed, which is amazing. So even if you're like, Mark, I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to mixing. I don't get what that means. I'm just starting music production. That's okay. You don't even have to know what I'm talking about right now because it's already kind of done for you. That's awesome. I love that fact. As you can hear, I'm going to play it again soloed. Everything is mixed so well together that it's not like you need to adjust the levels, you need to adjust this and this. It's already done for you. I will say that I have adjusted a few things here. Most of these are the default settings. I think I just turned the snare down a little bit. I'm pretty sure for this particular track, I thought the snare was a little too punchy. It would have worked well maybe for a more aggressive type song, like a rock song. But for this hip-hop track, especially given the vibe of it, I want the snare to be not as forward in the mix, if that makes sense. I want it to be a little bit less. So besides that, though, I really didn't change anything. And so right off the bat, amazing mixing when it comes to this plugin. Sample quality is amazing. So in terms of the sound itself, you can't get any better. Now here's the GUI, or the graphical user interface of the plugin. And you have the mixer right here. You have DrumKit, which is the actual DrumKit itself. And this is all clickable. So with my mouse, I can click. So you can click everything. Really, really cool that you can do that. I mean, I don't think you'd actually click like this, but, you know, it works. And just mixer, you have also grooves here. I haven't really divulged a lot into this, but what's really, really cool is you have all these grooves. It's almost like your own mini sample pre-recorded loop library. If you've ever used GarageBand, for example, if you've gone on Splice Sounds and downloaded some loop samples, it's almost like you have them all in here, all free, right? And keep in mind, they're all royalty free as well. So if I want to click like here, I don't know, like, can I play that? Right. So you have all these random, like I'm just playing a bunch of random ones. That's a nice one, I like that. Be good like little fill right before the drop or before another section. We have all these grooves, also, and the cool thing too about this is that they're all organized by, BPM. You have 150, you have 250, wow, fast. You have 180, you have 150, you also have different time signatures, you have 6/8 or 4/4, depending on what you're doing, and you also have velocity, soft, normal, heavy. Also, that's the velocity or the intensity that a note, or in this case, the percussive element is played at. And then you have, obviously, I showed you the mix and grooves, and then last you have settings. These are more just very individual, specific things that you can change, but it's awesome that you can really change all of these. And this is very good for MIDI mapping too. For example, if you happen to have an electric drum kit, you could probably map this all with MIDI. So if you're a drummer, and I can't drum for the life of me, that's why I produce music. But if you have, obviously, your drumsticks, you have an electronic drum kit, you can knock yourself out, map everything in here, as if you're mapping like a gaming controller, for example, for a video game. You map it, and you can play around on your electric drum kit. So this plugin is truly amazing. Now, you're gonna be asking yourself, like, Mark, wait a minute, like, with grooves and already pre-made loops for you, and everything already pre-mixed, and the GUI and the sound quality, what's the one thing that you mentioned in the beginning of this video that you didn't like? And here's what it is. And I get that for a free plugin, especially for a free plugin this good, that they would do this, is if I turn off live, right, I'm not going to save. Actually, I'll save it. Why not? I don't know. I'm going to pull Ableton back up. I'm going to wait for a second. I'm going to pull up Mr. Zimmer again. You'll see what I mean now about the one thing. And again, it's a very, very small thing. But on this, series, what I like to do is be very transparent. I talk about all the pros. If there are any cons, I always mention them, right? So, as you'll see, when I go to play this song now, you'll see the one interesting thing about this plugin. Wait for this to load up. So when I play it now, I'll play it with the song playing, and then, I'll solo it. You'll notice you're hearing nothing. The reason why is every single time you load up Ableton or your preferred DAW, you have to click the plugin, you have to go to the plugin itself, and you get this. Yes, it's free, but developing it took a lot of work and dedication. Please donate. If you donate, you get a special registration key. So you have to go here and click skip. Now, you can hear it. I will say, though, in a good way, it's not like LFO Tool. Like, if you use the demo of LFO Tool, what happens is every time you load up Ableton, it actually changes everything you've already done back to the default settings, which is kind of annoying. The good thing with this is it doesn't change any of your settings. My snare, as you notice, is still as low as it was when I first made it. So all your settings stay the same. As you notice, all my MIDI notation here, everything stays the same. Nothing's changed. You just have to go to the plugin every time you open up your DAW and just, hey, okay, go to that screen and skip it. Once you do that, once your DAW is open, you're all set. So if, hypothetically, you left your DAW open and never closed it, that wouldn't be an issue. Or if you're making a song in one sitting, it's not going to be an issue. So it's just one small thing. But besides that, this is truly an unbelievable plugin. One that you definitely have to check out. You have to download this. If you use Percussion in your tracks at all, which I'm assuming if you're making music, you kind of have to, definitely do this. Especially for me, there's been some times where I'm like, you know what? I don't even think I'm going to use any of the percussion in this. For example, if I'm doing an EDM song and I want like a intense kick, well, this, as you can hear, is more of a typical drum kit. Not good for an EDM kick, but I want the one hi-hat, or want that one snare, or I want this one crash. I'll either resample it, like record it and resample it, or I'll even pick out, like, like I said, one of the elements here and just have it really be one MIDI notation of that, And like I said, I haven't really messed around with the grooves too much. I usually like to make my own grooves. It's just personal choice. But some of these, especially if you're just starting out with music, I mean, you can't get better than this, right? Especially like, say, intro, I'll just pick like the first one that pops up. Play it. You know, all these different ones. Some of these about sounds. Oh, that's cool. It adds some like jungle groove on that, like there's some like rock stuff on there too. All right, so there's some really, really cool stuff with this plugin, from the sample quality to the GUI to this whole groove section too. It's an amazing plugin. Definitely check it out. I hope you like this video. Obviously, I've been doing a lot more of these videos, these free VST plugin detective videos. They've been getting more popular than I expected. So I will say this too, there's already been a bunch of suggestions for me to review different plugins. If you have one, if you're like, hey Mark, have you heard of this plugin yet? I'd love to see your review of it. Definitely post it in the comment section below. But definitely check out this plugin. Obviously it's free, hence the whole name of the series. Check out this, check out my track, Mr. Zimmer. It's all listed below in the description.